Hey there viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on Titans Return Triggerhappy. Now this guy is obviously meant to be based on the Target Master from G1, but of course this is the Titans Return toy line, so instead of having a Target Master, he instead has a Titan Master, which I'll show later on. So, let's have a look at the jet mode, because this is a really cool looking jet mode. I mean, seriously, I just love how this looks. I mean, right off the bat, we can see this is armed to the teeth. We've got guns here, guns that you can plug in here. And I guess you can argue that these wings, these bits on the end of the wings could be guns as well. So that could be like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 5 guns on each side, it looks like. So this guy is definitely armed. Now having an actual 360. We can see he has a Decepticon insignia on each wing. The back with the thrusters. Got some tail fins here, which I don't think the G1 toy had. So this is a new addition. Here we have the nose cone section and the cockpit section. And if we look in there, we can see the Titan Master partner. There's the Decepticon insignia. And with the G1 Triggerhappy figure, there was a huge black hinge where this entire section just moved up with the transformation. That's not there in this figure, so that's definitely a good improvement. If we have a look at the underneath, we can see a landing gear, if you want to just display it like this. And we can see what looks like this spinning disc thing for the transformation. Got these little guns here, which these do come off, because these are his robot mode guns as well. And we have this little port here. Well, if you have a figure stand, which I do right here, what you can do is you can actually plug this in, and then you can actually have it so it looks like he's flying. My voice just cracked. Oh. So yeah, you can actually have it look like he's soaring through the air, which this looks really cool. And I just bought this for like for fun. Yeah, but hey, it was definitely a good purchase, because you see, I'm pretty sure this is for like HD Gundam figures, but it works with Titans Return figures, so definitely a good purchase. So if you want him to look like he's flying, then you can purchase a figure stand, and you can just plug it into this little port underneath, and there you go. Okay, and to get the landing gear out, it's easy. There we go. Now, before we get onto the transformation, a few things. First of all, these guns. Well, you can have them either separate, like this, or they actually do combine into this little double gun like this, with this little hole for the Titan Master's legs to go in. And speaking of, let's have a look at Triggerhappy's Titan Master. First, you have to move down the nose cone and then open the cockpit to get the Titan Master out. Well, here we have the Titan Master partner. And seeing how this guy didn't come with a Target Master, this guy has to take the Target Master's name. So here we have Blowpipe. Yeah, that's actually his name. But, well, he's blue and he's white. Pretty simple. If we have a look at his head, if it'll focus, I doubt it will, but it looks like he's got a visor there. Pretty simple. Like all Titan Masters, his belly button's a screw. The face is on his back. The articulation is arms move up. The head can sort of move, although that's just for the actual figure's neck rotation in robot mode. And the legs can well, not transform, but they can rotate. Mainly so you can have it so he can plug into this gun while it's combined like this. So you can sort of fake a Target Master like this. I don't know, it's just a little play pattern that Titan's Return had. If we just split the guns. That's pretty much all I have to say about the jet mode, so let's get on with Triggerhappy's transformation. And well, if you remember my review on Titan's Return Top Spin, you remember how that had a few swiveling sections. Well, this guy's got a similar transformation, and it's really fun. So let's get onto the transformation. So to start, let's flip up the cockpit's landing gear. Oh, well, the nose cone's landing gear. Yeah, I cannot speak anymore. It's summer, it's hot, my brain's all fried, okay? That's why I can't speak and my words are all jumbled. But, anyways, take the wing sections and the gun sections and pull them out like so. Take the back section, rotate all that out, and with the feet, fold all that out. Rotate the waist. Move down the nose cone. Rotate this entire section, which is really cool. Tab all that in. Move this to the back, so this is just back kibble or a backpack, but oh well. This entire section forms his shoulders and arms. Like so. I'm gonna come in here and split his legs. Come in here with his arms and move them. We'll move the wings to the back. If you wanted to, you could leave the guns here in sort of fake pseudo-Japanese Target Master cartoon mode, because if you remember, in the Japanese Headmaster cartoon, the Target Master is transformed by having the hands retract and the Target Master attaching onto their arms instead of the Target Masters being handheld weapons. So this actually reminds me of that. So you could sort of do that as a little Headmaster cartoon Target Master throwback if you wanted to. But to get the hands out, take the guns and just fold them out. Flip out the hands. And right now he's just a decapitated robot. This is where we get Blowpipe. Yeah, if he was a Target Master like the original figure, his name would make much more sense. But we just fold up his legs like every Headmaster and Titan Master. And before we attach on the head, let's have a good look at the head. Well, I failed focus. We can see that it looks like it actually sort of reminds me of Prime with the faceplate, only red. Plus, he has yellow eyes. So yeah, it is a really cool looking head sculpt. And now for head on. There we go. And here we have Triggerhappy in its robot mode. And that transformation is really crazy. I mean, especially with these sections here. I mean, just think about it. You pull the arm and shoulder sections out from the jet mode, and then they pretty much just plug into this section to form the shoulders. So that's really cool. Not to mention, this entire bit rotates around. It's definitely way cooler than G1 Triggerhappy's transformation, because with that, it was just rotate the cockpit section up, pull out the legs, and pretty much just do the same thing with this figure for the arms, and that's it. But this guy's got a way cooler transformation, in my opinion. Now, if we just have a 360, unfortunately, it comes at the cost of him getting a backpack, but oh well. I suppose if you wanted to, these little bits on the side could be compatible with combat ports and Siege. Or if anything, like the Siege combat ports, the the guys that pretty much parts form and form weapons in Siege, Earthrise, and Kingdom. Can't remember their names right now. But yeah, you know what I mean. Modulators, fossilizers, that's what I'm thinking of. He could sort of be compatible with them with these little bits on the side. Maybe, I'm not sure. But what he is compatible with is his guns. Because they can either go in here. I don't know why you do that. Or he can just simply hold them in his hands. Ooh. Or if you have Siege Blowpipe, then he can hold him. So he can have his Target Master part in the back. I don't have Siege Blowpipe, but maybe I will get him one day. Yeah, who knows. Well, let's have a look at the articulation. Of course, the head can do a 360. Arms can also do a 360. T-pose. Got elbows, which can rotate. Thanks to the transformation, he's got a waist rotation. His legs can go forward, can go back really far. So he can do the splits like this, or like this. If the waist doesn't rotate, then his thighs can actually rotate. He's got knees, and his feet can articulate. So this guy is quite posable, especially if you bring in a figure stand. So hold on, I'm going to get him into an aerial fighting pose. And here he is, pretty much jumping up to shoot at some Autobots. Yeah, this is a really cool pose in my opinion. You might not think so, but I definitely think this is. And I couldn't achieve this without this figure stand, but still, this is a really cool pose. So, definitely shows how well articulated this figure is, so... Well, that's pretty much all I have to say about this guy. Complaints? Well, that backpack is a nitpick, but... Oh, sorry, I was just scratching my face, but... The backpack can be annoying, but if you can ignore it, which I can, then it's pretty much not a problem. Actual complaints? Well, at one point, the landing gear did come off, and it was sort of hard to put back on, so be a bit careful with the landing gear. As it could come off, so... But I can't really think of any actual complaints with this figure. Because unlike other Titans Return figures, the joints in this are all really tight. Not too tight, just tight enough to hold a pose. So, this is a really good Titans Return figure. So, do I recommend him? Definitely. I just love this figure. He looks really good. He poses really well. His joints are not loose at all. Plus... if you have Siege Blowpipe, you can pretty much, I don't know, replicate, what am I saying? If you have Siege Blowpipe, then you can have the old Turco Master duo back. So, I'm pretty much going to have to look for Siege Blowpipe now. But for now, this is a really good figure by itself. But if you have Siege Blowpipe, then it'll be even better looking. So yeah, with or without Blowpipe from the Siege toy line, I really do recommend this figure. Well, this has been my review on Titans Return Triggerhappy, and this is Charlie Young, signing off.